All right, so we are back on the Weight Concept presented by The Ring Magazine for day 2 of the Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis press conference extravaganza. Yesterday, they were in New York, and somehow those two put the city that never sleeps straight to bed. I mean, it might as well have been crickets in the Palladium Theater, but today I'm looking for some more hype. Today, I am looking for some energy between both Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, because again, they need to get us invested. This is the entertainment business for these type of fights. We're watching, can the little man beat the big man? Can the big man destroy the little guy? Can Jake talk his shit? Can he get more than just the boxing fandom involved? And today I want to know if we got that. Did Tank show up like he actually wanted to be there and not like he was being forced at gunpoint? Is Jake gonna be the villain, which he needs to be in this thing? Any bad blood, anything personal outside of the fact that both guys are making a ton of money and we should sit back and clap for them? Now, I'm gonna watch regardless, but why should everyone else? That's the question. Can they answer it? Press conference day 2 from Miami, aka Miami. The breakdown. Let's go.
He is the star of W.A.D.E Concept.
To the stage, the problem child, Jake El Gallo de Dorado Paul.
Can't have the music. All right, Jake came in. We got to do a fit check. We always do. Does look like a bit of a do-it-yourself Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants fit, but there's probably more money on that outfit than the entire state of Mississippi, I'll be honest.
He hails from Baltimore, Maryland. He is Gervonta Tank Davis.
Okay, it's not a purse today. He rocked the backpack. He's got the one wired Apple headphones in, but he does look like he just got out of school. I said this yesterday. Tank looks, acts, and dresses like a third grader with a beard. I mean, what'd you do at school today, son? Arts and crafts. Let me see what you drew. Paper mache. Let me see what you made.
What would silencing the haters and beating one of the sport's pound-for-pound best mean to you?
Man, you know, I love this stuff. You know, I love a good challenge. This is for me and my team. I'm not proving everyone else wrong. I'm proving myself right at the end of the day. And so this is a great test. I know what I'm capable of. And once I beat this guy, it's just another check of a box, and people will have less things to say.
I'm not going to lie, man. Jake's hair is getting out of hand. I know Tank called it a mohawk yesterday. It looks like half-boiled ramen noodles got, like, dropped down on the top of his head. Almost like, you know, when you would go to the barber shop and scoop up all the hair, and they just dropped it.
You heard him say, this is another check of the box. But you know, in this sport, we always say there are levels to this thing. Is this fight another one of those examples where you say, my man, now you're fighting one of the sport's pound-for-pound bests, and one of the best to ever do it, and there's levels to this sport?
I mean,
Did you say Tank was one of the best to ever do it? All right, here we go again with this. We can't be calling Tank the GOAT. We can't do that, all right? He is, in my opinion, one of the more talented boxers and has the ability of someone that could have been an all-time great had he taken a different route, but we can't do that.
The loser of this fight is going to be the embarrassment of the world. You know, their fan base is going to be let down, and everyone's going to see that, and it could be a career-ending loss, and that's what makes this exciting.
Well, it's not considered a loss to anyone because this is an exhibition. Let's not forget, this is an exhibition. But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. If Jake, and I would only say by knockout, if Jake gets knocked out by Tank Davis, this would be a devastating mark on his career. No doubt about it. If Tank were to get knocked out by Jake, it would be a devastating mark on his career. But if we have like a judge's decision in exhibition, which I didn't even know was possible until yesterday, Nikisa said there's going to be a judge's decision. All right. That's probably what's going to happen. But if this is like a judge's decision thing, I don't think anyone's stock necessarily goes up or goes down. Again, I have said what I think this fight's going to look like. I think it's going to be very difficult for Jake to hit Tank clean. If he does, fight changes. I think it's going to be very difficult for Tank. I think they're saying 12-ounce gloves for Tank to hurt Jake, especially early on. Maybe he can accumulate damage and Jake gets a little tired and then later in the fight something happens, but I just don't know. I think we're probably going to get one of those stalemate Floyd-Logan-esque fights where early on these guys are a lot more sharp, a lot more quick, a lot more technique from Jake than Logan had, and a lot more spite from Tank than Floyd had, but after a bit, I think it's going to be a bit of a stalemate.
Do you feel any pressure at all? Only because you're so good, and yet you're fighting this guy who's relatively new to the sport, and I'm sure there are a number of people, millions that are going to be watching, going to be expecting a knockout.
yeah, I feel like it's no pressure on me. You know, the only pressure on me is when I put pressure on myself. You know, that's why I'm not going out here and saying I'm gonna knock him out or anything like that. You know, so we just gonna put on a great show come November the 14th, and the fans won that night. You know, I just want to put on a great show so everybody can, you know, be happy.
I don't hate the answer from Tank because it sounds like it's honest. But again, I want to see them fight. I want to see some aggression. Tank would have that if it was anyone he actually felt was worth it. I just don't know if he thinks Jake's worth it. Again, I get that feeling that he just is there to be there.
I definitely want to, you know, put on a great show come November the 14th and make sure that I, you know, show him what I'm about, you know.
Genuinely.
What I think?
Yeah.
You gotta wait and see.
Yeah, you're boring as fuck, man. My whole family was texting me. I just want to apologize to the audience for this guy. Like, I'm not always a talker. The one that has to sell the fights. My whole family texting me.
I kick ass for real.
God
what
damn.
you do?
Jake's right. I'm sorry. Tank is boring as fuck. But again, Jake and Nikisa knew that when they signed Tank to be his next opponent. So it's at the same time as I got to give Jake credit for saying that, you kind of got to have to understand you're the one that picked him. You're the one that wanted him to come and do this fight, put him in this position, thinking and hoping that he's going to sell tickets and create some buzz on Netflix, which I think this fight will. I do. I just think that they underestimated how socially introverted Tank is until it's like a confrontational situation. Tank doesn't do well with these like formal Q&As. That's not what he does. You got to rile him up. You have to rile him up. So Jake needs to rile him up. Tank will be boring unless you bring him out of his shell. That's Tank's MO and that's Jake's MO. Bring him out of his shell. And it's kind of what he's doing now. But he's like, yeah, what are you going to do? You know, like tell the people, like, what do you think's going to happen? But he's getting frustrated because Tank is not like a big talker like that until you confront him directly. Jake has to go after him. Again, this is all being sold on the idea of Jake being the bigger man, power and the stature and the frame, and Tank being the smaller man with more experience. Be the bigger man, and I don't mean like in a metaphorical sense. I mean big bro him.
Maybe Jake Paul this time around has bitten off more than he can chew in this fight. What's your response to that?
Man, people are always gonna say this shit. Like, I'm just sick of it, man. What do people have to say? Come on, keep on saying it. Whatever you got. This is what I do, bro. This is why I'm the biggest in the sport. This is why everyone's here today. This is why I've had the most viewed fight in boxing history. So at the end of the day, I gave this little guy an opportunity. He should be thanking me. I'm paying him. I'm his boss. He reports to me, and I'm gonna fucking send him on November 14th. So fuck you, little man.
You pay me? Are you paying me?
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Facts?
Correct.
Yes? Correct?
Correct. I'm your daddy.
I don't know who is saying Jake has bit off more than he can chew fighting Tank, even though Tank is a very skilled boxer. Jake is 70 pounds bigger than him. And I think that, yes, Tank has an opportunity to shock people with his power if he's able to put Jake away. But when we say Jake is bitten off more than he can chew, I would say that'd be the Anthony Joshua fight that they want next year. If he actually does that, I'd be like, bro, respect. You're an absolute psycho. And yeah, I think AJ would probably hurt him really bad. But again, I just go back to this. You see what happens when there's just a little bit of confrontation. The fans or whoever's there in Miami, they actually get a little riled up and get a little bit more into the press conference and into the fight versus them sitting there talking like robots like, yes, I appreciate the opportunity to fight. Thank you.
Your confidence. I love it. Tell me and tell the people, why are you so confident in this fight?
It's preparation. It's knowing what I'm capable of. It's my team. You know, Third, Jay Leon, Larry Wade, you know, my training partners, Dika, everybody, Carl, everyone who puts in the work, Ocean, the whole team is, you know, number one, and everyone goes so hard, and we know.
Jay got a man named Ocean on his team, huh? I feel like I might have met the guy, too. That's got to be the yoga guy. I didn't know his name was Ocean, but the way him and Jake be flowing, you know what I'm saying, in that yoga stretching, acro yoga stuff where it looks like one of them's doing the airplane game from when they were kids, that's the guy he has to be talking about.
Tank?
He has gotten a lot better.
He's a confident young man. Does any of that concern you in this fight, that he is so confident that not only he will win, but win by stoppage?
Tank, you're confident. But the question is, does his confidence make you less confident in your confidence? Because he sounds confident. That's a confident young man, but I know you're confident. So whose confidence is more confidentially confident? What?
Fuck no. Not really. Not really. I mean, he supposed to feel like that. He's the bigger guy. He say he paying me and stuff like that, so I let him take the high route. I take the low route. I see you November the 14th.
One thing
I think you meant the opposite.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tank said I'll let him take the high route because he's talking stuff and saying he's paying me. I'll take the low route. Usually, if you take the high road, you're the one that's above all the shit talk and not saying anything personal. And if you go and get in the dirt or take the low route, you're talking that shit. Tank had him backwards.
Jay, give the people one thing that you can guarantee that they're going to get on November 14th when they tune in to Netflix.
Yeah, you're going to see the two biggest fighters in America go head-to-head with an amazing card. World championship fights back-to-back-to-back. And that's just how the MVP way we do it. And I'm going to come for a knockout of the year again. I've seen it in my visions. I've seen it in my manifestation. I'm sleeping this guy and going to create the most viral knockout ever.
I said this yesterday, but the best case scenario of this entire thing for Jake is exactly that. Sleeping Tank. Because you know what it does? Just like if he would have slept Mike Tyson, which I did not want, I'm just saying, if he would have done it, he would have become the biggest villain in boxing. Right? Imagine he like sleeps 58-year-old Mike. Everyone would hate Jake Paul. Now, contrary to what other people think, I think that would have turned into more numbers because people hate him so much they want to see him get knocked out. You'd have to pick his opponent wisely in the next one. But same principle applies here. If he knocks out Gervonta Davis and gets on that microphone and says, I'm not only the biggest face in boxing, I'm the best knockout artist in boxing, and everyone knows it's like kind of bullshit because Gervonta's 135 pounds, but now the boxing fandom is riled up. Now they're intrigued. Now they want to go and get their savior, whoever it's going to be, Anthony Joshua, Canelo, whoever, to go and stop this man and knock him out in this show permanently. And that is what drives viewership. Even the casual fans would do that. So, yeah. If he actually did have some viral knockout, that would be insane.
You know that? Just excitement. You know, that's what I bring to the sport, excitement. That's why I'm the one that's doing the most at the gate.
And that's why I respect Tank. That's why this is amazing. He's a showman. He's a G. He's got his aura, his swag, his fans. I really respect him for taking this fight. Look at what, Floyd Mayweather did. He fought Conor McGregor, who was like the same weight. This is the most risky fight that Gervonta could take in the boxing. He actually has the balls and he's putting it on the line. And it's a much tougher fight than Floyd had against Conor in a crossover fight like that. So respect to him. It's going to be a show, and we can talk our shit at the end of the day, but people are going to tune in and we're both going to show out and someone's getting put to sleep.
This is really scripted. Like, you really going off of something, huh?
Yo, Tank, what are you? All right, bro. Yeah, that's about to get clipped up and sit everywhere. Jake is like giving Tank props after he called him boring as fuck, first off. But he's giving Tank props. He's like, listen, he said it would be Tank's biggest test. I think Tank's biggest test right now would be a Shakur Stevenson fight. Just saying. But he's like giving Tank his props. And then at the end of it, Tank goes, this shit's really scripted, huh? This is scripted. Allegedly. No, I'm playing. I do not believe that Jake's fights are in any way scripted, and Tank was saying that what Jake was saying about Tank sounded like a script. Sounded like he had memorized it and wrote it down.
Gervonta, how you doing?
You know what? Okay, they're in Miami. I was going to say, what the fuck is Aiden Ross doing there? Look, we got Rolly in the crowd, too. Oh, my God. And, of course, Aiden's sassy ass got up there. Gervonta, how you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, good.
Gervonta, you know I fuck with you. I fuck with you heavy, Gervonta, but I want to side bet you. I got Jake winning.
We already side betted, though.
We already did. What was the bet?
200.
Let's go 250.
Let's go 500.
No, hell no. See, Jake, that's what Jake. Come on.
Jake, for the first time, Jake not doing the bet. Okay, Aiden, Mr. Big Money, just got the 100 mil from Rain Bet, from what I heard, allegedly. Says he wants to go 250. Gervonta says put 500,000. They're talking about, not $500, which would be way too much for me.
You have to take it, bro.
Jake, y'all are making $50 million for this on Netflix. I can't do it. You split the bet with me. 250.
By the way, what Aiden said right there about $50 million, that's not a random number that he just threw out. Apparently, Jake leaked it on a live stream with Aiden, saying that him and Gervonta were making around $50 million for this fight. Oh, my God. That's a lot of money.
5250.
Easy. Let's make it $1 million.
Whoa.
Let's make it 2.
Jake.
Let's make it 2.
Y'all gonna shake on it?
Yeah.
Shake on it?
Jake, $1
Shake on
million.
it?
2 mil?
2 mil?
2 mil. Let's do
2
it.
mil. Go ahead here, 2. 2 mil. Go ahead.
2 mil. Easy work, bro.
Brian doing
mil?
some
Get a shake.
auctioneer.
Oh, they're shaking lefty.
2 mil.
Size check. Hold on. Size check. Size check. It looks like Jake is about to take Tank to the principal's office. Okay. Number 1, I entertained this because Aiden got involved and it's a fun thing. I can almost guarantee that no one pays up on this bet. It has never happened. We've seen bets time and time again with Jake Paul fights and other fights. The only time we ever saw someone actually, quote unquote, pay up their side of the bet was when Tyron Woodley actually went and got a tattoo of Jake's name on his hand after Jake knocked him out. That's the only time I've ever seen anyone pay up in these bets. So I highly doubt anything comes of this. And also, Gervonta tweeted out right after the press conference, he was never getting that 2 mil. I don't give a fuck what happens. Just as quickly as the bet was made, it's kibosh. In other words, this is all bullshit. These bets never actually go through.
Jorge Alonso, BroBible.com. This is for Tank. Tank, you've talked about his inexperience and you've called him a clown. Are you taking him seriously in this fight?
For sure. He the bigger guy. Look at him. I gotta take him serious. Won't you? Facts.
So you do have,
See, when you get Tank a little energy, he's funny as shit. You gotta get him, you gotta wake him up a little bit.
could win $2 million in this bet. What are you buying with those $2 million?
2 million? I don't know. I can't even say because motherfuckers gonna hate me for it. So I'm gonna chill. I might donate it.
Are you more excited now that with this bet, with the $2 million bet?
2 million, I'm not donating 2 million. I come from the hood. Not doing that. I'll give some, but I ain't doing 2 million. I ain't that damn rich.
Tank is something else, bro. Just immediately contradicts himself. Thought about it for a second, was like, actually, nah.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Rashad West with Remix Sports Media. My question is for both Jake and Tank. All right, so Drake is known for dropping $1 million bets on fights like this. If he decides to place another bet on this Netflix matchup on November 14th, why should he put it on you? And what do you say to the fans who follow those bets and might wager on this fight themselves?
That might be one of the worst questions I've ever heard at a press conference. And I'm not even exaggerating. What does that even mean? If Drake is going to put $1 million down, why would he put $1 million on you? Who gives a fuck where Drake puts his money? I love Drake. Drizzy Drake all the way. OVO sound. October's very own right here. But who gives a shit?
Drake.
Oh, Drake.
Drake.
What you mean? Why wouldn't you bet on me?
That's what I'm saying. You let me know.
Come on, man. You from Miami?
Yeah. Born and raised.
I know.
Yeah.
You just came in here.
Yeah.
You just came in, right?
What you mean?
You just walked in here.
Nah, I've been here.
The dude announced he has his own some sports remix media, and Tank's like, oh, you from Miami? Yeah, you just walked in here, didn't you? Essentially, Tank is like, oh, you're not media. I can tell you're not media by that fucking question. What was that?
All right, this question is for Jake Paul. What up, bro?
What up?
Oh, God,
Hey,
here we
man,
go.
big fan. Also your trainer. Me and the guys, Larry Wade and Theo Chambers, we see you making these big bets and shit. So when you win this bonus, how much motherfucking money we getting?
I'll give you half.
There you go.
You
guys
need
get
it for
half.
a new set of eyes.
My team.
Nah, Tank, you ain't about to say that about my guy Jalen, dude. You ain't about to say that. I thought him and Jalen were like homies. Maybe he's trolling, but damn. He said, let me get half, and Tank said, you need that for some new set of eyes, bro. That's crazy.
Coach Calvin Ford. Coach Calvin
Oh, Calvin Ford.
GTD. Jake, I want to
Nigga went from a real fighter to a YouTuber. That's how shit go, right? That's how.
Oh, see, here we go. I didn't know that there was beef, but now I'm starting to understand they may not be as close as they used to. Jalen and Tank going back and forth now. Again, I told you guys this in the last video, connection from the Mayweather gym and also just Mayweather Promotions. They both fought under that promotion. They both trained, I'm pretty sure, together in that gym for a long time. I think Jalen watched Tank come all the way up through the ranks. Here we go. And by the way, shout out Calvin Ford. This is Tank's coach. He's getting a question off. I like it, but here we go.
Shit go, right? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah.
What up, champ? What's the deal?
Yeah. You went from a real fighter to
But you want to know what's crazy, Tank? me and you ain't never had a bad day up under the sun.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. Listen, I see you, somebody that bust his ass. I'm watching you since you was a kid, right? I know Calvin. I got nothing but love for everybody over there. They show me nothing but love. I got nothing but respect.
Stay on your side.
For whatever it is you think.
Stay on your side.
I'm only on this side. But guess what? I'm a black man supporting another black man making millions and millions of dollars.
I ain't trying to hear that.
Proud of you,
I'm not trying to hear that.
And it's all
I'm not trying to hear it.
We over here doing dope shit too, so it's cool to see us aligned.
You went from a Hall of Famer to a YouTuber. That's who you trained. You went to working with a Hall of Famer to now you working with a YouTuber, right?
Shit, I mean,
you're forgetting.
See, I mean here, and by the way Jay-Leon handled that was pretty freaking mature, man. I got to admit, this is why Jay-Leon's the homie. I know Jay-Leon fairly well. Always been nice to me, always been great to me. I am proud of the way he handled that back and forth. I don't know what's going on between those two, but I like that Tank is like, listen, it's wartime. We're on different sides, but I also understand that it's a little more complicated than that. But
Jake, I see y'all doing all this betting and stuff, right? And I'm looking at the fight because I'm his coach. This is a very serious fight, and I'm a very serious person.
Facts.
My question to you is, where did 12-ounce gloves come from? Why y'all couldn't take 10 and he had 8? Already he given up 4 ounces of the gloves. I gotta say this because y'all betting all this money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait, you guys were the ones that wanted 12-ounce gloves, not me. I'll do 8. Fuck, I'll do 4.
So I said this when I did my first video. I thought it would make more sense if Tank had smaller gloves and Jake had bigger gloves, since this is an exhibition. But no commission would probably do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And Calvin says the same thing there, but here's the problem when you introduce smaller and smaller gloves, which Jake says he'll do 8, which is you can't have at all. But if you let Jake get in 10-ounce gloves to hit Tank, that's a fucking problem. I know it just sounds, okay, 2 ounces, whatever, but the hit diameter of those gloves, it shrinks to where that pressure point, if you land flush in a 10-ounce glove versus a 12 or a 14, that pressure point, that freaking hit diameter radius is right there in the middle of the glove, and all the impact is right there in the middle of the glove. Woo! That's a 210-pound dude. I'm just saying, if Jake hits him clean, I'm just saying.
So what do you want, 10 ounce, 8 ounce? What do we want?
If he the one said that, I'm going to go with that. I wasn't aware of that.
No, the 12 ounce came from your guys' side.
No, it did not.
On God, perfect. Then what do you want, 10?
No, I didn't say that.
So 10 ounces?
It don't matter to me.
Perfect. It doesn't matter to him. So back to what I always wanted, which was 10 ounces. Great.
Well, you just made something clear to me. You just made something clear to me because I didn't know. Because you fight at 10s, he fight in 8s.
Yeah, your guys' side.
So I'm like, 12 ounces.
He's show the emails and the screenshots. You guys asked for 12 ounces.
It's part of negotiation. I get it.
No, let's do it. 10 ounces, 8. Let's do it. That's great. That's going to make it more exciting for the fans. Thank God. I wanted 10s really badly. Let's do it.
10 ounces.
Cool.
All right.
Bro, no. Okay, now, again, the initial reaction is going to be like, oh, yeah, Tank got 10s, Jake's in trouble. I disagree. I disagree that this works out better for Tank. And it'll help Tank's power, right? It'll help with that. But Tank is used to fighting in 8s anyway, so it's a heavier glove regardless. But Jake fights in 10s, and he hits harder. Again, I think it's going to be very difficult for Jake to land flush. But if he does, and he lands directly on the freaking front knuckle of that glove, 10 ounces is not a lot. All right, here we go. Apparently the audio went out here. Yo, this is one of the craziest shots. Again, just the size difference, man. Like this middle schooler wants to stand up to the high school bully that took his kickball away, man. This is what it looks like. Oh, a little shove. Okay. Okay, Tank. There we go. Get it started then. Little shove. Jake kind of went back a little bit. Wasn't expecting it. And then look at Tank's reactions. He's quick with these reactions, man. Very interesting part. The only like breakdown-worthy interaction that they've had, honestly, even the verbal stuff, is this right here. Jake goes to try to give Tank a little shove back, a little jab kind of shove. But Tank, yeah, he gets touched with it, but he's quick. Pull that shoulder back. You know what I'm saying? He's quick to pull that shoulder back. I just don't know if he could get to that reach, man. That's the biggest question. From that spot right there, could a left hand rain through on the backside? Because Tank is absolutely going to look to throw that left hand if Jake overextends on his jab. Southpaw orthodox matchup. Left hand down the pipe. You can even see here, I'm not even trying to do the whole body language breakdown, but you can even see Tank could get under that left hand because he's 5-0. He could roll under that left hand, and here comes the brick hand over the top. If he lands something like that in 10 ounces, I'm going to tell you this. Jake's 200 and something pounds. That's still going to hurt at the very least, and who knows what, because Tank's got ridiculous power. So Jake, a little sloppy on the push there. He got pushed. He wanted to get it back. There's something to be taken away from that, but lines up perfectly for a counter left hand. And you even see his promoter here is kind of grabbing his left hand because Tank wanted to let it fly. And Jake backed up a little bit. He said, oh, and Tank comes with that. Tank, man. Tank said, where I'm from, the bullies get bullied. All right, dude, there you go. Listen, takeaways from this thing, I don't know. Tank seemed to have a little bit more energy today. He seemed to be more lively. Him going back and forth with the media, with Jay Leon, with Jake, with Aiden Ross. There seemed to be a bit more energy today. That's all I really asked for. So in terms of, selling us on something, sure. Better job today from both guys. Jake, seemed a bit more locked in here with Tank as well. They had a little bit more fun. Tank going after Nikisa was pretty funny. But listen, this doesn't change anything in my mind. The 10-ounce gloves doesn't really change anything to me. I mean, again, I think that's a bad idea for Tank, more so because even if Jake doesn't land clean, those are 10-ounce gloves, still going to hurt. Tank is still punching in gloves that are 2 ounces heavier than he normally uses, so I don't know how that's a win for him. The $2 million bet almost certainly won't happen, which I didn't think would in the first place, but Tank pretty much confirmed it. And we're all left with the same kind of idea that we thought about this to begin with. This is an entertainment exhibition that we know is going to draw a ton of eyeballs. I'm going to watch. And there's going to be great high-level competition boxing on the underneath card. And even in the main event, if something is to happen, if someone is to get knocked out, it will go mega viral, and both these guys are going to make a shit ton of money. But the one takeaway I would have, if anything at all, was watching that little push back and forth with Tank and Jake. How Tank was able to keep his ground when Jake came to push him back and came to touch him with that jab and overextended just a little bit on that jab. And while Tank's arm was being held, he was still right in line for that counter left hand to snap back. And I think was within range to do it. One of the questions that you will have as we get closer to this fight is, can Tank find ways to close the gap? And I mean in distance, to catch Jake with the brick hand, the backhand, that left freaking grenade he puts on everyone. Watching that little interaction and knowing the skill level of Tank and knowing his timing and knowing his feet and knowing his accuracy for a guy that doesn't throw a lot of punches, I think he just might be able to. And if he's able to knock Jake Paul out, that would also be absolutely fucking crazy. I'm ready to watch the show November 14th, one day before Chris Eubank Jr. takes on Conor Benn. That's going to be a banger. And UFC 322 is the same day. Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev. You can watch them all here with me. We will be live. Until then, the question is, who wins this exhibition that apparently has judges? 10-ounce gloves. Jake Paul, Tank Davis, Netflix, November 14th. Don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out.